President is pleased to welcome Washington State Poet Laureate, Rena, who has joined us today.
Ait sgwael CEM o helix yn quanasatle tiacaius sahwaltanat sanasnat chochlamisan. Just a few words in my Chlamichasan, my Lummi language, to say how happy I am to join you here today to share this poem, which was written to the theme of a vision for a more equitable 2023. The poem is called These Abundant and Generous Homelands. Warm at home in the long cold days of winter, how and why should it trouble our thoughts, that eternal question of the haves and have-nots? We are not thoughtless or hard of heart. We give what's fair, do our part, and the privileges we claim as our share, those we reserve without reservation, perhaps even unaware of our good fortune, perhaps never having troubled deaf heaven with our bootless cries, we walk well-heeled through our blessed lives with ease. Or maybe we stride with shrewd purpose in shoes made for long days of toil on our feet. You have yours and I have mine, and aren't most of us just trying to get by? But still, the hungry, they are always with us. And isn't the worry always that if we pause our labor too long to care too much, that we shall be counted among them? How can equality be anything but a utopian dream for those whose history and legends tell only of statesmen and kings, and whose concerns are less and less over the justness of wars as much as they are for the accumulation of more? Yet, we live on lands where equality bloomed once before, when indigenous nations lived by beliefs and followed ancient laws that said an orca whale and a cedar tree are sovereign, sentient beings with inviolable rights, just like you and me. Those beliefs are not childlike or primitive. They are the blueprint for a just and fair society, which for Native nations is not a vision, but a memory. That sublime belief in the wisdom and goodness of the giving earth is not so elusive, is not a birthright exclusive to tribes. Yes, it's mine, but it's yours too, if you want it. If you want it, you must tell new stories, true stories on which to build new beliefs, true beliefs in the interconnection and value of all living things. The supremacy of man is only a fiction. This is the secret every river knows, for water rises and falls and in a circle eternally flows, from the cloud to the mountain, through the valley to the sea. Thus is a circle, a balanced, perfect, and natural state of being. And who are we to interrupt it? We do so at our peril. When the forest burns, our eyes burn and our hearts fill with ashes, and when streams are dammed and wanting of salmon, doesn't our blood want of vitality? This is the folly of hierarchy, with man at the top. We reap the fruit of inequity, a harvest of terrible hunger. Now is the hour of our reckoning, a moment of dire lack. Though unrehearsed, we must summon the courage and the will to act to assure our children a better path forward. And when we look back, will we see that in fact we were not recovering from natural disasters, rather we were the great disaster from which nature must recover? With hindsight for eyes, we must sail toward a beautiful vision, an era that is trying but hopeful, demanding but healthy, whole, and equitable. We will be steadfast in our course, carried by the winds of change into a more balanced way of being. For while free will is at the whim of our human nature, nature loves balance, and so our nature is humane. These truths being self-evident, if all are created equal and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are our legacy, then we must each wish that for the other and repair this world we've borrowed from our children. We must recall a time when we did not have the things we think we need, but had the whole living earth for free. As long as the rivers run, as long as the tide flows, and as long as the sun shines, you will have land, fish and game for your frying pans, and timber for your lodges. These were the promises on which this state was founded. These sacred homelands in which the call of eagles resounded resplendent from the tops of towering cedars, where none went hungry when salmon were running in clear, cool waters. These abundant and generous homelands were given in exchange for a promise of a world we could live in, a world that would keep giving to all in common for as long as the rivers run. Hashka.